Hello, once again. Welcome back to Something to Think About. This time, I'm not going to be writing my own thoughts. So, we're going to be looking at Ecclesiastics. That's quite a good book. So, before we look into it, I thought we would look at the writer and we'll just talk about the book of Ecclesiastic. Well, not about, it will be mostly about the writer of the book of Ecclesiastic as an introduction to the book. So here goes. The book was written by King Solomon, who was the son of King David with Bathsheba. Solomon was a wealthy and wise king of Israel. Israel was one nation. He built the first temple in Jerusalem and he gave a large offering to God. I was reading about how King David wanted to build the temple, but he couldn't do it. So, you know what King David did? He sourced gold, silver, timber, precious stones, and what have you, and put them into the treasuries. And and also encouraged people to give towards the building of the temple. He said, yes, I might not be able to build it, but my son Solomon will be able to do it. But I am going to at least gather the things that will be needed for my son to what? To build the temple. Oh wow, just reading that experience, David truly wanted to build the temple, but because of the amount of blood he shed, he couldn't. So the duty was laid for Solomon to do. So all the materials were there for Solomon to build. Wow, wow, wow. Tons and tons of gold. And when Solomon came to be king, he didn't forget what his duty was. He was to build the temple, and he remained friends with other neighboring kings, speaking words of wisdom, saying, for the sake of my father, provide me with this, provide me with that. And the kings praised him for being a truly wise son and listening to the kind of offerings he gave God. Wow, 1,000 he slaughtered and he gave to God an offering. I was like, wow, wow, wow. Yes, he is a king, but killing 1,000 animals as an offering. Wow, wow, wow. That is a mega, mega gift. I was like, wow, no wonder, no wonder. And even when God came to ask him what he wanted, wow, 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 he just asked for wisdom. And that even impressed God. God was like, wow, wow, I will not only give you wisdom, he gave him plenty more things. So Solomon was the wisest and he was the richest, and no other king has been known to be as rich as King Solomon was. So as you read, I know his end was not the best, but what he wrote during his time of wisdom, that is a true wisdom. Proverbs, Ecclesiastic, even the Songs of Solomon. Wow, those are good somethings to live by, good scriptures. Don't dismiss them saying, he married 1,000 wives, blah, 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 blah. No, he wrote them under the unction. Those scriptures are still inspired. So, going back to Banot, he built the first temple in Jerusalem and he gave large offerings to God. He was prudent and passionate in his love for God. He is also known for indulging in idolatry, marrying foreign women. Apparently, he had up to 1,000 wives. They say, I think, 300 wives and 700 concubines. Wow. Why one would need that many, I don't know. So you can imagine every one of them saying words to him. Women like talking. Poor Solomon. He did not see that one coming. And after marrying all those women, he possibly turned away from God, which could be why his son Rehoboam was the way he was, and the kingdom split into two. Apart from that, he still remains the wisest, and his words of wisdom ring true to this day. He talked about how there is nothing new under the earth. This is completely true. Just because you've never heard or read of it does not mean it has not been. You hear stories of kings or people in power destroying books, killing people, and shutting up anything that does not line up with their given scenario or narrative. Thus, the only history left is what they want us to know. So not all history we read about is accurate. It's what was allowed to be written down. Anything aside from their plan is called conspiracy theory, brainwashing, closed-mindedness against the greater good of the community. Thus, reasons are given to shut it up, close it down, and mute it. So now is the time to speak, share the truth, and stand in your faith. No one knows where we are headed and what new rules and regulation could be announced at any point in time. You now know how quickly the world can be turned upside down. No wonder Jesus mandated us to watch and pray, and gave the example of the wicked servant who was left in charge of his master's household but forgot his original task. On his master's announced return, he was found wanting, and things did not go well for him. So let us remain diligent in our calling as children of God, and learn from the preacher that at the end of it all, fear God and obey his commandments. Share the word and remind all that God will judge us for everything we do, including every hidden thing, good or bad. Wow, wow, wow. Let's get reading and find out what the preacher can teach us. Learn from him, but don't do like him. That is all from me for now. Remain blessed and continue to be victorious.